Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be talking about Destiny 2 Renegades. Now, there's a few things I do want to talk about when it comes to this expansion. A few things that I just want to bring to your attention. And ultimately, just get a discussion going because I want to know your thoughts. I want to know your opinion. And yeah, I feel like there's a few bits that just needs to be talked about when it comes to Destiny 2 Renegades. But one thing I just want to start off with, guys, is the support that I had on my most recent video was absolutely incredible. So, guys, thank you so much for that. I do appreciate every single one of you for tuning into that video, leaving a like, even commenting as well. It's the best performing video on my channel for quite some time. So huge thank you to that, and stick around to the end of this video as well because I've got quite a big announcement to make. So yes, let's start with Renegades. So the Edge of Fate obviously launched with a bit of a bang, to be honest with you. It was a good expansion. The only thing really that held the Edge of Fate back was the campaign. When I say the campaign, I mean the mechanics of the campaign, constantly using Matter Spark, constantly using Matter Morph or the Void Cannon, and it just makes me wonder, like, what is Renegades actually going to bring to us? You know what I mean? Because I don't think we're going to be getting a new subclass. It just doesn't seem like a likely thing. Obviously, it's based around the Star Wars kind of theme. Now, that one thing I will just mention is, obviously, you know, you can see a lightsaber, you can see Han Solo's blaster there as well. As much as this is very Star Wars-esque, I believe they said that it is inspired by Star Wars, so it's not actually a Star Wars, crossover. There's no linking universes here. It purely is just a Destiny 2 story, which is inspired by the Star Wars theme. So I just want to get that out of the way because I know that there's a little bit of confusion around that. But even still, I'm just interested to know, like, what are we actually going to get with this? Because, like I said, the Edge of Fate was really good. The Edge of Fate brought to us a new raid. The storyline was really, really good. The weapons were great. Kepler, the location itself is alright. I do miss the fact that I want to use my Sparrow. That's mainly what I want when it comes to a destination. Like, I miss public events, I miss lost sectors, and I do wish that I could just use my Sparrow. Obviously, Kepler is a completely different type of location. In fact, to be honest with you, everything that they did in the Edge of Fate was like a brand new take. So you've got side missions, you've got different ways that you can interact with the story, even so much as the raid. The raid is like a completely different layout. You can actually just choose which encounter you want to go to at any time. And then when you complete the actual raid itself, you can go back in there and actually just start with the final boss if you want to. So there's literally no reason for checkpoints at that point. But yeah, so going back to Renegades here, this gives you more of an accurate breakdown as to what to expect. So when it says expansion, that's obviously these two here. So you've got Edge of Fate first expansion, Renegades second expansion. So the expansion is going to bring to you new story, new locations, new missions, new weapons, new gear, new raid. That's specifically the Edge of Fate. And new dungeon, that's specifically Renegades. So there's a couple of things here that I just want to lay out. So in Ash of Iron, which is the major update that we're getting on September 9th, they have said that we're going to be going back to the Plague Lands. That's as much as what we really know when it comes to Ash and Iron. What that looks like, I don't know. However, the new locations here does indicate that we are also going to be getting a new location with Renegades as well. But I just don't want Renegades to be another situation whereby we go to a new location, we get this new ability that we unlock, which is only specific to that location, and we can only use it when we're in that specific area, and that's how you navigate. Like, I just don't think that that's the best approach that they can continue with when it comes to Renegades. I do think that there needs to be something that makes people go, wow. And I just really hope that they don't heavily rely on the Star Wars theme to grab people's attention, because obviously there is quite a large Star Wars fan base out there. Having Star Wars in a game like Destiny does kind of just make sense because the universes are very similar. However, when you're someone like me who's not even really a huge Star Wars fan, I don't want the Star Wars theme to be the reason why I want to jump into Renegades. I want there to be a reason why Renegades stands out for me. So we know that it comes with a new location, and it also says new and reprised activities. Now, I believe that new and reprised activities is specifically going to be talking about the Ash and Iron major update and the Shadow and Order major update. You've also got new events, new modifiers and challenges, new gear and artifact mods. That's all just a standard thing. And then rewards pass, you've got exotic weapon, ornament, legendary weapon, and armor ornaments, cosmetics, and more. So that's just more of a standard thing, to be honest with you. But with Renegades, I don't know. I don't know if I should be a little bit concerned because we just don't know what's going on. And obviously, it is way too soon to kind of say what's going on. I know that literally the Edge of Fate has pretty much just come out. But based on what we've seen so far when it comes to Renegades, Like, they are heavily already hinting the fact that it's Star Wars based. And again, I'm not saying that it's based in the Star Wars universe, but what I am saying is I just don't want them to lean in the direction of, oh, we've got Star Wars themed armor and Star Wars themed ships and Star Wars themed weapons. Like, I just don't want that to be the center of what Renegades actually is. Now, when it comes to the story of Renegades, I'm sure that it's going to be absolutely fine because Alison Lure seems to be top of her game when it comes to the storyline of Destiny. And obviously, and spoiler alert, with the death of 3 at the end of The Edge of Fate, she did say in the interview that she had with Bife that we're going to see the effects of what the death of 3 causes for Earth within Renegades. We're going to see what that looks like, so I'm excited for that. And also, we've got the Dredgens. So we already know from the blurb, if you were to go to the in-game blurb for Renegades, it says that a new Dredgen is on the block. Now, I've got a separate video planned on what I think that is and what that means and who that Dredgen might potentially be. However, again, I just want them to give us something that makes us go, wow. You know what I mean? Because Renegades right now is a Star Wars themed expansion, and that is pretty much all we know. I hope that when they give us more information about Renegades, they have something that makes us kind of blow our minds a little bit. Saying that we're going to get a new subclass is such a far stretch. I mean, I hope that we get a new subclass. I don't really know where else they would go. Obviously, we are going to be getting a new dungeon when it comes to Renegades, but a new dungeon isn't as big as a raid, right? So they've got some development time there, and just let us use our Sparrows on the new location, man. I really want Sparrows to come back. I actually miss using my Sparrow on Kepler, to be honest with you. I remember going to, I think it was Nessus, and I got out my Sparrow and I said to Max, do you remember what these are? I just really want them to kind of focus a little bit more on the open world aspect, because Edge of Fate Kepler is very narrow, it's very claustrophobic, and it's very tight corners to get to each area. So I'm hoping with Renegades we get kind of that open scale Baron-esque vibe, which is, you know, what we've seen in the cinematic. Now, ultimately, when it comes to Renegades, I do think that everything is actually going to be fine. I'm not concerned that much. I just need to know more information. And again, I know it's way too soon to actually know what is going on with Renegades. I get that. And I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself here, but I am just so nervous on the fact that we are just going to get an expansion that is Star Wars themed, and that is it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to pause it here because this is actually something I wanted to talk about here. So one thing that I noticed in this image, or in this video, is we do actually have Sparrows here. So to me, this is a good indication that we are going to get a new location, which is what we see in the background here. And we are going to be able to use our Sparrows, which is a huge plus for me because I do miss Sparrows. Now, obviously, when it comes to Renegades, I know that we are going to be getting Star Wars themed stuff. I do get that. I just don't want everything to be Star Wars themed. I do enjoy the Destiny-esque theme that we get. Obviously, we have a location here in the background as well. Don't know what that is. Don't know where that's based. Again, we can only really just hope to wait and see. But one thing I do know is the whole setting of what we're looking at here, where you have that kind of sandy, barren, open world-esque kind of vibe. That definitely suits the Dredgens. So the fact that we are going to be getting a Dredgen story in Renegades as well, or at least somewhat a Dredgen story, that I am excited for. And again, Alison Lures definitely nails the story every single time. Like, again, she was responsible for the final shape. She was responsible for the Edge of Fate. Both were fantastic stories. And yeah, I think that's just ultimately what I'm excited for. When it comes to what I'm nervous for, it is mainly just the Star Wars theme stuff. I don't want that to be overused. And I just want the location to be open world and actually have some kind of replay value to it. Because right now, there's not really a reason to go back to Kepler. Like, we tend to find as Destiny players that we're just going back to the older locations. So we see ourselves going to Nessus quite a lot. We see ourselves going to the Dreaming City quite a lot. I actually go to Europa quite a lot to get my thumbnails. So, like, I want a reason to go back to these locations. I want them to stand out. I want them to have purpose. I don't want them to just be these locations that you have because we've got this fun ability that we've just unlocked and we can only use that ability within that location. Therefore, that's the reason why we go back there. So I just don't want that to be a case. I haven't really got too much more I want to say on this other than I'm a little bit nervous for it. but also I'm not too concerned specifically about the story. I think the story is going to be fine. I'm mainly just concerned about the gameplay aspect. And obviously everyone's power level gets brought way back down to 200 again. So again, I don't know if they're going to tweak the power level on how rough the grind is, because I do believe the grind needs to be kind of tweaked a little bit, because you've got to put a lot of hours into it to get to where you want to be. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But ultimately, guys, like I said at the beginning of this video, I just wanted to start a discussion, and I just wanted to get your take on how you feel this is going to be. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And lastly, the announcement that I want to make is we now have a Discord server. So this is something that me and my mods have been working on for a little bit, and we have finally got it off the ground. So in the pinned comments of this video, you can go and sign up and join our Discord right now. And it's also going to be in the description of every video that I upload. So guys, hopefully we'll see you there, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.